And a move-in my senior year who is none other than Rick Fox.
Yes. And actually, I got that off his Facebook. So I thought he was on your state team. He was not?
Nope.
Okay, that's why that's.
Nope.
Steve, welcome back for another episode. I love the quote, and I don't want to get ahead of it, but I will. I'll play if coach stays, because they're trying to vote him out. The community doesn't want him. He had a past. That's why he was holding out, but he was seeing the good that this coach was doing in bringing this team together and making them play as a team. United, unselfish.
Yeah, Hackman's shocked to see him walk in. This is Jimmy Chitwood walking in, and this is in a church. And there's my dad, Roland Butcher, on the left. He's talking to Jimmy. He says, "What are you doing here, Jimmy?" So that, and he got word that he wants to talk.
Can we turn
this is Jimmy Chitwood's first line in the movie, by the way. Halfway, 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of speaking parts, but it was a powerful one. This one, when he says, "I'll play if coach stays," and then then what they do is they announce the vote, and it was mostly unanimous, if I'm not mistaken. And somebody that was critical, that had a relationship with Coach Dale, she speaks up. And she says,
"You know who that was? Again. It was Merle Fleener right here. Barbara Hershey's on the left, and Merle Fleener. I think Merle, or I don't know if her name was Merle. She speaks up. It's Barbara Hershey's mom.
I think we should vote again," she says.
Yeah. And there's Coach Walkner. He's the one that got kicked out the first practice. Now they're all for him because Jimmy spoke up. I just think that's great.
Yeah, it's very dramatic. It's very powerful. You can see the relief.
Great scene.
On his face, yeah.
They want to revote. They want to recount.
Yeah. I'll play if coach stays. Love it.
You know, the scene you just showed is not a scene that gets picked out very often when I get interviewed as an impactful scene. A couple things that I love. The period piece at the time, I think a community meeting like that would have been held in a church. So I think that's significant. I think it's significant that all the cars were there. And I think it's significant that Jimmy shows up late. I think it's significant that the Hickory team's in the back. We were showing support, and we're in the back vestibule, but we weren't really supposed to be there. That's not picked up on. We see that Jimmy, we hold his ball. See, he comes through the door. We weren't supposed to be in the meeting, but we wanted to be there for Coach Dale. And the guy running the meeting is Wampner, and Wampner was the one that was the assistant coach that in the first scene of the movie, Gene Hackman kicks him out. So he's running the votes up there. So he can't wait to get rid of Coach Dale, because Coach Dale kicked him out of the first practice. So he's upset with him. And my dad, Roland Butcher, gives Jimmy, of course, he would know Jimmy Chitwood. He says, Jimmy's got something to say. And I think the impact, and then he goes ahead and delivers his line very unemotionally, like Jimmy would. And Morris did a great job delivering the line. We like the scene because we were in our letter jackets. It's just the way it would have been. I mean, I have a letter jacket from high school, and any kid that's ever gotten a letter jacket, guy or girl, I mean, there's an immense pride in being able to wear a letter jacket. So we were in the back with that letter jacket, and I just think it's a great scene to show so many themes, and the fact of right there, Barbara Hershey, who was, the lady interest, her mom was always in the movie for Gene Hackman, realized he had a little bit of a checkered past, and she's the one that speaks up. And there they are.
Yeah.
And then Barbara Hershey right there is not so sure about it at that point. Realizes she likes Gene Hackman, but then that kind of sparks a little more interest in Mrs. Hershey and Gene Hackman as a bit of an interest together, as she was a teacher at the school and he was a teacher at the school. So added a little more interest to the movie for sure.
Yeah, I also want to comment on that letter jacket thing, because I had a letter jacket, and it took me, I mean, I didn't get it early on. I got it toward like maybe my senior year. And, but you had the letter, you had to be on so many varsity sports.
Absolutely.
And it was a point system.
Absolutely.
And I remember taking great pride in that. And I wish that, I mean, I never wore it though. A girlfriend always wore it. and it seemed like I always had a girlfriend, and it got passed around. But yeah, and my brothers ended up wearing it, you know, when I had graduated from high school, but I hardly ever wore it, and I worked so hard for it. And you're right, there was such a great amount of pride to work and letter in at least 3, maybe it was 4 actually, varsity sports to get it. And now they give them out like participation trophies, don't they?
Well, you're so right, and the times have changed. So if the viewers have been patient to wear this. This is not the letter jacket I'm wearing. This is the
movie jacket.
It's got my name right on it, and you can't see the back. I've had it on, but they gave us this for promotional. It's got Hoosiers on it. And there's only 8 of these in the world. They've replicated, this is leather sleeved. They have replicated this. But this was given to us by Hemdale.
Oh, that's neat.
For us to promote the movie. And I still, the one you showed, our letter jacket, we all still have the original letter jacket, which again are absolute one of a kind. And if you would ask the 8 Hickory Hustlers if they would give this away,
probably
or
no way.
Original letter jacket, to your point,
yeah,
we would never give up the letter jacket.
Yeah. It's so true. And when I say they, I'm just talking about culture has cheapened that to where it doesn't hold the significance that it once did.
Right.
So.
And they gave us the show jacket because it was glitzy and it had the movie Hoosiers, and they wanted to promote the movie.
Yeah. What a neat thing. I'm sure that, but at the same time, I'm sure you'll never put it on eBay either. Probably never see that. There's only like 7 or 8, right? I doubt they'll ever be on.
You're not going to see that one. I think they would give up a lot of things before they'd give up their letter jacket.
I'm sure it'd be worth something, that's for sure. But yeah, that's too special for sure. So let's go to the Butler Fieldhouse entrance, that pregame tension where he measures lines and the distance. I think that is such an awesome clip. And it's great coaching.
This is a great one.
It's a great coaching. Yeah.
A couple of things I want to highlight as you show that clip. It is in Hinkle Fieldhouse. We used the Hickory bus. It was a back door entrance to Hinkle Fieldhouse, and we got off the bus. And if you notice in the clip, I'm going to tell the viewer something that's often I've not often told this, but if you'll notice, I don't have a hat on. And some of the kids walk in, and Ray Kraft meets us. Welcome to Butler. We're glad to have you there. Ray Kraft, for your information, was the point guard on the actual Milan team. So Ray Kraft played in the real game, and they wanted to put him in the movie. So these are all these little wrinkles that they were real intentional. So that guy that meets him and says that, that's the real Ray Kraft who played in the final game with Bobby Plump.
Interesting.
And he may have been the leading scorer in that final game, oddly enough. But anyway, that's Ray Kraft. But the reason I don't have a
getting
stock
off the bus. You're saying that's when the sequence of getting off the bus?
getting off the bus, the representative from Hinkle that greets us is Ray. But I don't have a hat on. And the reason I don't have a hat on is I went to Gene Hackman and I said, should I wear the hat or not? And he says, how many other scenes have you worn a hat? And I said, none. And he looked at me and smirked. And he gave me the answer. If I didn't wear it in any of the other scenes, I'm more recognizable not having the hat on. Mm-hmm. So if you'll notice my character, I have my hat in my hand. So this is in Hinkle Fieldhouse. Ray Kraft is coming down the hallway. He was on the original team. We're getting off the Hickory bus. And he was on the Milan team. He was the leading scorer, I think, in that final game. Welcome to Butler. Welcome to Hinkle. You notice some of the Hoosiers Hickory players have hats on. I don't. I'm in the back right there. My hat's off my head. Uh-huh. And I'd asked Hackman, should I wear a hat or not? And he says, how many other scenes did you have a hat on? I said, I didn't. And he kind of smiled at me. And his point was, I think you're more recognizable without the hat.
Is that snow?
I think he had a good point.
That's why, right?
That's why it's off.
Yeah.
So we're coming into Hinkle, which it is a special place, special gymnasium. And it's where the Butler Bulldogs play, and it's been redone some sense, but you can see the scoreboard. It's covered in black. Most people miss that. They didn't have a way to hide that in that one scene. So that's a cool little catch. Yeah. This is a great scene where we, Gene Hackman's point is, and the great scripting.
You can just see the look of intimidation on their faces, on your faces. You're in awe of the situation, the moment.
It's the biggest gym we'd ever seen, clearly, and his point measuring the distance to the rim and the free throw line it's exactly what we got back in Hickory.
Yeah.
And just a great scene.
And he's having him measure the height, 10 feet. Yep.
Yeah. And then they come to discover that it's the same.
Yeah.
And then my brother in the movie, Whit Butcher, gives at the end of this scene, he gives a great yell out and he yells Hickory, and here's the echo. And I love that scene as well. He gives a good holler here at the end as we leave, just to emulate it like it was a big barn from Hickory.
So we get a little bit of music from
He's the last one walking. He'll yell here. Love that.
So now the anxiety's lowered. It's the same field we've been playing on all these games, and we've been winning. We can win here. There's be more people.
Yep.
And how sweet it will be. So that's a good sequence. So another one I would like to pull up, unless you have any final comments on that sequence or that scene. Let's head to the game itself and the winning shot. What do you remember, Steve, about this game in general? Any behind-the-scenes memories of?
So many.
Anything?
This was the biggest gym we had to fill. And remember, we're filling a huge gymnasium for a fake basketball game. So the promoters got it in their mind. Look at all the people.
Yeah.
And they're all period dressed. This is the last huddle when we look at Jimmy and he says, I'll make it. And they show a upshot of Brad Boyle and I right here. It's coming up. This upshot was the last thing right there. That's the last thing that was filmed. And if you notice, the lighting's different. We came back like a week later because they didn't have a good upshot of us. So that I remember. from right there, the lighting's different. We had filmed that at a different time.
And the other thing I noticed is the flash bulbs too. You know,
Yeah,
we don't have flash
yeah.
bulbs now.
And they got it close, but they knew through looking at the dailies. Dailies are the things you look at every day to see how the film's going. They realized that Hackman pans left and looks left, and they didn't have an upshot of Brad and I. So that was the day before Christmas, and that was when the film was wrapped. That Brad and I shot that last scene in Hinkle, and everyone went home. So this is a continuous run. From this huddle, I had stole the ball, went into a huddle. That is a continuous roll, they call it. And I touched on earlier, this is emulated of exactly the way Bobby Plump did it when he made the last shot. And Buddy brings the ball up and gets it to Jimmy. We clear out one side. He comes to the top. And just the way Plump held that ball for a minute or so in real life.
That was back when you could stall. They didn't have any shot clocks.
And the closely guarded really wasn't a thing. But the way he approached this jump shot was exactly 6, 5, 4. And in real life, he makes it. First try. And they told the fans to stream out onto the floor. And this is the moment I could not separate reality from movie. To me, when that went through. And then
here you are, you high step. Yeah, you're high stepping backwards. It's great.
That was real life to me. Yeah. I mean, and this moment right here, it was.
Was that a movie celebration or a Steve Hollar celebration?
I got a lot of harassment over the years for that little dance.
So when you won the state championship in real life, did you have a different celebration or?
You know what? That's funny. I've never been asked that. I think recollection, I held my arms in the air in the real life celebration as well. It's funny. I've never thought that through. Great question.
So arms in the air, no high stepping. So that was special to the movie then.
I'm not sure I could backwards high step today.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's a lot of fun. So a finale question for you.
Sure.
Why do you think the Milan story and the movie based on it still touches people 70 years later? Of course, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the movie, but it's been 70 years since the actual game that the movie was inspired by.
Wow, there's a lot to that question. I think in a lot of ways with cell phones that we all have, Facebook, Instagram, podcasts, social media, all that we're inundated with, I think that we all yearn for a simpler time, a time of simplicity, a time of romance, a time of our past, because we were all in high school. We all share a common thread. We were all in high school. We all have different experiences in high school, whether that thread's music or sport or whatever. And even if we've won at a small level, winning is something that's universal. We're taught to win by our parents. We want to be nice boys and girls until we cross the lines, and then we want to become killers. And so, the theme of winning and losing will never change. We'll come and go, and winning and losing is still something that we want to win. We want to win business. We want to win in life. We want to win at our faith. We want to win at a lot of things. So all those themes that we talked about of what Hoosiers is at its core, those themes, those realities of what the movie and the threads of the movie are still apropos and are still appropriate today, 70 years, or if you're counting 40 years later.
So well said. And it's because everyone can relate to it. Everyone. The youngest viewer to the oldest viewer, male, female. everybody wants to win in life, and whether it's connected with competitive sports or not, people want to succeed in life. So I think that's a great way to end, and you really nailed that last question. I think it really kind of brought it together. So we really want to thank you again with all sincerity.
Thank you. And I'm appreciative of you asking. It was fun. And I'll leave you with a trivia question that most don't know, but I think is a unique thing for Steve Hollar. I am the only person, I think, ever to win 2 state championships 3 decades apart.
That's a neat, fun fact for sure. And so unique. Yeah, so unique. Not
and it's true because in the movie, this is how cool that trivia question is. As fate would have it, in the movie, we win the state championship in 1954 in the movie. In real life, we won it in 1984.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did notice that from these photos in the studio.
Doesn't it have? Aren't I right? Doesn't it say
you're 50? Right. 30 years.
It says 54 state champ, I think, on there. Because if you go, or maybe it's the Milan. I was looking at your Milan picture. Does it say 54 in there?
It does say 54. So 54 and 84 is 30 years.
So I'm incorrect. In the movie, I think they change it. I think it's 52 maybe in the movie.
Yes.
And I don't know why they did that. So yeah, I'm a little incorrect in that statement.
And that's why I printed this picture out and not that one, because it was confusing.
Yeah. And as an aside, it doesn't matter now, but the Warsaw picture you have of my Warsaw team on the wall, that's my 85 team.
Oh, it is.
Because we have a nice black player in the front row who, a little trivia to you, is none other than a move-in my senior year, who is none other than Rick Fox.
Yes. And actually, I got that off his Facebook. So I thought he was on your state team. He was not?
Nope.
Okay, that's why that's
nope.
there.
So you had another picture. I think there was another picture somewhere. It doesn't matter, but there's another picture of the state finals team that you had brought up.
Yeah. Okay.
At some point, but if it doesn't.
So that's
matter.
Your senior year. And
that's my senior year, and Rick moved
semi-state. So he got to experience a semi-state, but he got to experience pro basketball too. For me,
well, yeah, I mean, he was. Well, you know this.
Yeah. He was an icon.
He was recruited by Jim Kessler to come play at Grace College. Well, he got so good that Dean Smith came calling, and he goes to North Carolina, and then he gets recruited, and then he gets drafted by the Boston Celtics, traded to the LA Lakers. He wins 3 national championships with Kobe and Shaq and the LA Lakers.
And then went on to TV and movies as well.
And TV and movies.
So you have that in common
high school
too.
Basketball.
Yeah. So you guys share that as well.
We do. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah. Do you stay in touch with them?
Sure do.
Do you? That's neat. To wrap up this special 40th anniversary celebration of Hoosiers, we want to leave you with one final thought. As you reflect on this iconic David and Goliath story on the court, take a moment to think about the giants in your own life. Some giants appear because we're called to step into something bigger than ourselves. Others show up because of our own choices or missteps. But no matter the reason, the good news is this. The real David and Goliath story in Scripture shows God's faithfulness in both situations. David was called to greater service, yet he also made serious mistakes. And still, God walked with him. Why? because David's heart belonged to God. He was aligned with God's purpose, and he found peace and trusted God. So we encourage you, go back, read the story of David. Let it strengthen your courage, steady your faith, and remind you that no giant is too big when your heart is anchored in Jesus. Winning a basketball game is great. Conquering life's challenges is even better. But the greatest victory of all is living for God's purpose, because that's where true purpose, true strength, and true legacy are found, both in this life and beyond it. Thank you for joining us in celebrating 40 years of Hoosiers movie. Here at Grace Unfiltered, our mission is to produce content that inspires, educates, and entertains while pointing you toward hope, truth, and grace. Until next time, be encouraged, be grateful, and keep living in grace.